Hey, P2, do you want to hear some trivia?
Oh, mate, I love a good game of trivia.
Guess what happens when a chook and two pelicans get together?
What's that, mate?
A clucking good time. That's right, you pelicans. The wobbly chook has jumped on board, keeping the bird presence strong. Whether you like a pale ale, brown ale, IPA, or a lager, the wobbly chook has you catered. Crafted from Yamba's finest chooks.
Better still, Mick, how do we get some wobbly chook?
That's easy, P2. Jump online at www.wobblychookbrewingco.com or pop into 26 Cole Street in the heart of Yamba.
And have a clucking good time.
Cluck out.
Cuckoo! Always remember, don't be a mud gudgeon and drink responsibly.
Welcome back to another episode of the Two Pelicans podcast. So you would have just missed that.
G'day, you pelicans.
Here he was. You were sort of hung up on his door.
Go and have a good time with them a bit later on.
Pelicans landing in 3, 2, 1.
And welcome back to the Two Pelicans podcast. I'm Mick.
I'm Bo.
We are the Two Pelicans, and we're here again to make fishing once again. One cast, one throw, one lure, one yarn at a time. So, anyhow, we've just been trying to. We've had some major tech issues here, but we actually think we just might have had shitty internet. So, anyhow, we're running it through P3's phone here at the moment, and who knows?
We'll see how it goes.
Hopefully, this works out for us. So, but anyhow, we'll just we'll see how we go. Anyhow, mate, what have you been up to for the week?
Trying to stay dry, really. She's been standard weather.
Well, hang on. It's a particular day.
It's a Wednesday.
It's Wednesday, and it's sunny.
Yeah, there's no rumbling in the clouds.
Yeah.
But look, that'll probably happen this afternoon.
Yeah, that's right. It's who knows? I think I was saying something. We're going to get another maybe up to 50 mil over the next 7 days. But
some big band coming down Queensland or something.
Yeah. Well, you'd definitely you would definitely know that we're going to probably cop that. So
what is it? There must be a fishing comp coming. If
yeah. So anyhow, we'll cover that a little bit later. But what have you been up to for the week, mate?
Just flat out working. Had my birthday on the weekend.
Yes.
Shout out to everyone who wished me a happy birthday. Really appreciate it. A lot of love that day.
You smoke a few chooks or what? Actually, talking about chooks.
Oh yeah.
You want a bit?
Yeah, let's have one. No, I was actually fighting a bit of man flu, so didn't actually get to get away like I wanted to. I had plans of shooting down to Red Rock, taking the new bluefin down to Red Rock and staying down there for the weekend in the rooftop tent and with the kids in the swags. But yeah, with all the rain that we had, that sort of put that to end. The little creek out Corindi came up.
Yep.
Came up down Coffs, had a fair bit of rain.
Yeah.
And yeah, everything down there swelled up big. But look, I don't know. I'm contemplating whether to head out to Copeton or up to Somerset for a pre-fish this weekend. So we'll see what happens.
Okay. Right. So Copeton or Somerset, as in the Bass Electric.
Yeah, Bass Electric's in the 13th, 14th, 15th of June.
Okay, nice.
Sponsored by Daiwa.
Shout out to Daiwa.
Shout out Daiwa. And yeah, so yeah, we've got a two week pre-fish ban for that. So this will be the only weekend that we can sort of pre-fish it before the cutoff. So yeah, I'm contemplating whether go up there and probably waste 2 days for maybe one bite.
Okay.
At 2:30.
Yep.
Or I'll go over to Copeton and swing for the fences for a big old Murray cod. So.
Yeah, fair enough.
But I don't know. Copeton, I think Copeton's calling me.
They're calling you?
Yeah.
Yeah. I've got a bit of man flu at the moment, so I'm not having my normal mother clucking mid. I'm actually drinking a ginger beer. Hopefully ginger's good for you, apparently. So,
well, beer's good for you, so if you mix two together, you go to work.
Anyhow, ginger's apparently good for you, so that's my excuse. But, yeah, look, I went up to the Gold Coast for the weekend with the bride. No kids, dirty weekend, some may say, but spent a lot of money on stuff that we probably don't need, but here we are.
Marketplace next week.
Marketplace next week. It was good, actually. It's always something about the Gold Coast, you know. You can always go and just do a little bit of people watching. Things just unfold there quite regularly.
But quite easily.
And quite easily as well, yeah.
I get in trouble up there because, like, I'm a people watcher. Like, I will watch people and just pick at the shittest thing. But yeah, up there, I get caught staring at people. Like people come up,
Yeah.
and you got a problem? No, but I do now.
Well, we sit there and like even on Friday night there we're sort of eating at this fancy restaurant and only two of us, and mind you, let's just say I got a bill that would easily cover me for a day's fishing. It was pretty big, but anyhow, that's what happens when you don't read the menu properly.
No.
And anyhow, so we're there, and
would have been okay if they said
this dude was just like, he was just off his head, eh? And I just couldn't help but watch because, man, he was doing some random shit. Like, he was running into people and talking to them, then nearly got run over by a car. And this is where the tram is too, might I add. So I think in another 5 minutes, this tram's just going to come along and go, woot-ya! But, yeah, anyhow, that was the Gold Coast for me. And look, while I was up there, a pest of a listener contacted me, and we haven't heard from this guy for a while. He actually wrote me a poem.
Oh,
yeah. So this is where are we? I'm just looking. Mr. Bumpy, where are you? Oh, there you are. So he wrote me a poem, and I thought to myself, I'm going to just share this because it's sort of about how good I am going at fishing at the moment. So
roses are red, violets are blue. Mick can't fish, so can you.
Yeah, that's it. So, handline from the boat ramp, bread on a hook. Corbett wants to catch a brim to stop being a sook. Sun on his bald head, thongs are on his feet. He reckons he's a fisherman, but those fish have got him beat. Thanks, Bumpy.
Well done, Bumpy. That was good. I like that. That was good.
Probably not sums it up at the moment, but anyhow, we'll get good at fish and soup one day. So yeah, so thanks for that. And also, I think we're just going to play a little write a reply. Now, we had a bit of a message come through there the other week that we couldn't show the video, and the Yamba Yabby has a write a reply here. So let's hit it.
Hey, legends, the Yamba Yabby here. Sorry, I didn't get to the potty till a couple of days late because I'm up to my 10th job in the last 2 years. But anyway, how good is ChatGTP? Just replacing us marketing men one after the other. Anyway, that so-called video, that's taken a while to go. Just to clear a few things up, that was the COVID Classic, the old Corbay's Great Fishing Comp that I hope that all the listeners can get to next year. Well, yeah, that was up the top of the Broad. We got a bit of braid caught around the back there, and I took one for the team and jumped in the water. And unfortunately, the young bloke, the male nurse from Ipswich, took a video of it and sent it off to the Ginja Ninja, unfortunately. But anyway, you get that. The ninja shouldn't throw too many stones. For a while, he was known as the seagull slayer. He caught that many of them. I got a few videos of that. Anyway, boys, I've changed to watching you on YouTube, which isn't good for my eyeballs because you blokes have got shocking heads. Anyway, keep it real, and I'll get some videos of the ninja and send it through to you. I've got to come up with a new tagline. I'm working at radio now, so I'll work on it. Cheers, boys. Talk to you.
Geez, that'll be a punish if he's on radio. Oh, God.
I want to see the video of the seagulls getting caught. I always like a bird getting caught every now and again. It's always entertaining, especially trying to get the hook out of the bugger. There's a beak or two that goes in a place that it shouldn't.
Yeah, that's it. Hey, look, we'll probably just cut into some news there. And I think as we're talking, our internet connection might be failing on and off. But anyhow, we're going to just try and do our best here at the Two Pelicans. Yeah, I think it's time for a software / hardware upgrade with everything, I think. News. Well, look, ABT, Forster double round, Tari got cancelled. I won't get too much into that because we're actually going to have a guest on here very, very soon, hopefully, if technology allows us to talk about that. But also, Glenbourne's also going ahead.
Glenbourne's going ahead. The park's open. I think it opened today's Wednesday, so I think the park opened up today. But yeah, you're going to probably have to be pretty cautious there. She's going to be wet. She's going to be boggy. She's going to be slippery.
Yeah.
But all the guys that are going, they're smart. They got their heads screwed on. They'll be respectful and look after the place. And I think that's probably one of the big things that the park's probably a little bit concerned about. but the park knows how important these events are and how important these events are to the park. So us coming to these areas does generate a fair bit of money. I know personally it probably cost me $1,000, and that's as a nonny.
Yep.
So I reckon as probably a boatie, it's probably double that, if not a little bit more, depending on how much fuel you like to use.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's great that the park was able to open up for safety and all that to us for Glenbourne. And look, we all know how Steve and Nicole are with safety. If it wasn't safe, they wouldn't be sending us there as well. So.
Yeah, that's right. So with so much water in there, predominantly should be an edge bite, one would think.
I am thinking, I'm no Glenbourne expert, but I've fished Glenbourne a little bit, and the times that we have had a tournament there and it has rose, it's been an awesome jerkbait bite.
Okay.
I was really looking. I was going to go, but I'm actually not now. Just a few personal things come up, so I've just got to look after them.
Yep.
But yeah, I love Glenbourne, and I don't think we're going to see that plastic on the flats, because I think those flats are probably going to have 30-40 foot of extra water sitting on it.
Yeah.
And yeah, I just think with that water rising, how much it has, there's a lot of bait, there's a lot more food coming out of that grass that probably the fish are going to be honed in onto after about a week, 10 days of it being at that level. So I'm expecting probably the X-Rap from Rapala to come into play.
Yep.
There's a fella called Matthew Langford that we all know that's pretty deadly with that in his hands, and down there at that dam, he's probably one of the best jerkbait specialists on that dam. Sorry if I've upset anyone, but the proof's in the pudding with all these checks and rewards that he gets on that place. But look, in saying that, you've got Graham Ford, who knows that place like the back of his hand, if it's empty, if it's full. Al McNamara is the same. You've got a couple of young fellas that could be dark horses in there of Adam Mears and Jake Hardy. They're two young fellas that I love and have stepped up into the boaters the last couple of years, and they will be real forces. Already forces now, but as the years go on, they will
get better and better.
Get better and better.
But
I reckon my secret call for Glenbourne's going to be Ben Hay. I reckon he's on a roll at the moment. He's been kissed on the dick.
I was gonna say that you didn't mention his name, but you just did. So
I was saving him for last.
It'll be interesting to see. Hopefully, little Cameron's going down there for a hit out, new motor I see, and
he should
I'd like to see.
I'd like to see him do the whole comp without a breakdown, which I think is going to be probably not having a dig, man. I love you, but yeah, it'll probably be his first comp that he probably doesn't have to worry about too much and can just actually fucking fish hard. So good luck, Cam.
All right. So in the updates, what have we got here? We'll just swing over again. You mentioned Bass Electric.
Yep.
Dial sponsored Somerset, 13th, 14th, 15th of June. 13th is pre-fish and briefing. Is that 100% too up there?
Yeah, I think so.
Everything will be 100%
by the time that rain cloud comes down this week, it'll probably be 200%, and Lockie Valley will be flooding again.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm really looking forward to that big arena. I'm probably a little bit scared about it actually, because from reports, a lot of fish are being caught up Kirklee area.
Yeah.
We're starting from down the Spit. So roughly, I think Spit to Kirklee is something like in between like 10 and 13 kilometers. So electric boat, that's probably your max run one way for some people.
Yep.
Well, for a lot of people, really. There's a couple of fellas that can do a bit more that have got solar panels and
all that stuff.
Yeah. nuclear power underneath that boat. I don't know how it works, but they get there. But yeah, so yeah, it's going to be a good event. As we all know, it's home of Australia's big bass.
Yeah, it should be.
Anything can happen at
that
place, so it'll be exciting.
Yeah, no, look, that's good. Also, I just wanted to bring up a bit of an update on the story that we did cover the other week around the campsite at Toonumbar Dam.
KFC Fishing Club.
KFC Fishing Club. So I spoke to David, who was on the show there last week, and he did mention that there was a good turnout. They had nearly close to 70-odd people. the mayor and the local member have got involved, and they're going to start a lobbying or a bit of a campaign back down in Sydney and having them discussions with, I think it's Minister Jackson off the top of my head. But there was a couple of things that come out of that is that, while we were trying to fix stuff, we spoke to Phil about this while we were trying to fix our stuff, and he was talking while we were trying to fix everything, is that there was funding that was there that now has been taken away, and I think the report of it was around about 600,000. So a little bit disappointing. It sounds like the council wants to be proactive in assisting and managing this area, and I know that there's money that they've put into it, plus the local money that's been raised by KFC and maybe other groups as well. So yeah, hopefully something can happen there, and that sort of lovely little area still is open to the general public.
Yeah, and look, that's one thing, and this kills me to say that probably New South Wales needs to take a leaf out of Queensland's book. And that, like, these guys have all their dams up there. Yep. Some you can use power boats, some you can't use power boats, but they're all accessible.
Yeah.
They're all there for the weekend warrior to go out and enjoy, like...
Well, that's a great point, because I always think of this Shannon Creek Dam like...
Oh, mate, don't even get me started.
You can't even do anything there, can you? You can't even canoe on it, can you?
No.
Nothing.
But it's full of fish.
Oh,
I've fished it.
Would be.
I have fished it. I've got... look, I don't care. Come knock on my door. I'll give you a mouthful about it, council. I've got mate's property who's back onto the back of it, and we've thrown it like so. If anyone knows Shannon Creek Dam, it's water supply for the Clarence Coss area. It's been pumped out of the Nimboida River. The pump that used to pump the canoe centre out at Nimboida has been diverted now to Shannon Creek Dam, so that doesn't run through Nimboida, which used to feed the Arara into the Clarence. Big story. But anyway, all that water's been pumped down in Nimboida. So in that dam, there is mullet, there's eeltail catfish, there's eastern cod, there is bass, there is herring. All have been caught. All have got pictures.
Yeah.
But here's the kicker. This doesn't happen very often in the Nimboida River. We went there on the Terps, 4 wheels, having a great time. And that took a couple of hand lines and that 80 pound. And we're getting 80 pounds snapped off like we're fishing.
Fair income.
Yeah, so there's some big, could be eels, could be big eels.
Yeah.
But I reckon they're big cod, like, and yeah, we're holding 80 pound running through our hands and they're snapping us. So there is some big fish out there. And it is a shame. It's the council have set it up beautifully out there below the dam wall.
Yeah.
Like,
what are you going to do? Go out there and bloody slap yourself in the face and go home again? Like, you can't fucking do anything.
No, it's
bullshit.
It's nice to watch the water getting pumped out of the dam when they're pumping it, but
yeah,
that's only cool for 5 minutes.
Oh dear. But anyhow, look, I guess for the Toonumbar guys, I hope a resolution's not too far away, and we'll probably be touching base with them there a little bit later.
But this is one thing that I only found out too last night. I thought they were closing the whole thing, but the boat ramp's still going to be...
No, the boat ramp's still going to be going.
Yeah.
Without sort of sounding like negative about it all, these are how the full closures start to happen. You know what I mean? So first of all, it's the campground. Next minute it'll be the boat ramp, and so on and so on.
Well, it's just like the junction out top of Black Mountain. It's now, after when we first started having these floods, the council ended up putting a boom gate on it and closing it and saying that it's restricted for...
Yeah.
And all that. And now, I think I've driven out there 6 times for it to be open once.
Yeah.
But then you go onto the council website and then saying it's open.
Yeah. And this is the thing. So these are how the things start. That's why I think it's important that they really lobby this and try and keep it open, because once that gets taken away, the boat ramp could come next, or the next thing could be
there'll be
canoes only. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, and I do agree with what you're saying. Like, New South Wales is really behind the time when we talk about public recreational activities compared to Queensland. I'm just going to just lay that down there. talking about that state of origin, what do you think? What are your thoughts?
13-10, go the Blues.
I think I put some. I seen that on the Rapala. I think that was a good idea that the guys are doing. But I think I said 28-12. I reckon the Blues are just going to absolutely roll them. But anyhow, that's just my thoughts.
We don't have good record first game.
No, we don't.
That's why I just went. I went tight for the first game because I just thought
arguably the best players back in the game. Probably, unfortunately, hasn't been in the best team of late.
Lachlan Gavin.
That's what he thinks.
Go the Dogs.
Anyhow, so we might just see if we can get hold of our guest here. I haven't heard anything. He is a very, very busy person. But anyhow, what we've done today is that we have reached out to someone that was obviously affected down in that Taree area, and hopefully he picks up the phone.
Probably reckons
he could think it's a telemarketer because I was talking to him on Messenger, and I know that they're really, really busy at the moment.
Hi, the person you have...
I'll message you.
No, that's all right. That's all right. I think he's just been offline for a bit, which is fair enough. So, look, while Bo's doing that,
here he is.
Here we go. Hello.
Kris speaking.
Kris.
I just missed a call, yep.
Yeah. It's Mick Corbett here from the Two Pelicans. How you going?
Good, mate. What's up, man?
Probably not as much as you. So, but anyhow, I thought you've been generous enough to give us 15 minutes of your time and have a bit of a yarn about what's happening down around Taree.
Yep, get into it.
Yeah. How's Manning Marine going for you guys? Obviously, it's been a pretty treacherous flood. I have to ask before we get stuck into it. Like we have a lot of floods up here as well, but a lot of people mentioned 2021 down there. Was the 2021 worse, or was this?
Oh, not even close. Not even. Didn't even register compared to this thing.
Right. Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
It's funny. It's just a lot of media stuff that's just come through. Like everyone's going, oh, we're so much better prepared and everything was okay because we learned a lot out of the 2021 floods. And I thought that it wasn't that big down there.
Oh, man. So, to put it in perspective, 21 was on par in our shop of 1978, which was essentially the biggest flood Taree's ever had. 1929 was the record, depending on where you were, to the height. I think it registered, they say 6 meters, but at every record that I've seen, it was 5, 7 meters in Taree.
Yeah.
78 and 21 were both around, just 5'4" thereabouts. Don't quite know. Just for reference, this went to like 6.4.
Wow.
So in 21, we had 78 and 21 in our store were nearly identical. So about 750 mil high.
Yeah.
Which was like, it was a shit fight. It was a mess.
Yeah.
Because we got caught out, we didn't think it was coming. This time, saw the rain coming. We knew we were going to get one. And as it was coming up and as it rained, I had a couple of mates from up the river sort of keeping us posted on how much they were getting in the rises, etc. And we knew it was going to be really big, like real big. So we sort of put everything up to those historical levels, that 1 in 100 so-called level. Lifted everything about 800 up. If it had stayed at that, I reckon we would have lost nearly nothing.
Okay,
So we shifted all our engines into the detailing place next door, which is up on a big concrete pad. Filled a truck full of other engines and a few rods and all our tools and stuff, and moved a heap of stuff around, lifted it all up, put lots of boxes up on fridges and cabinets and everything, well out of like over a metre high, and it ended up going 1.6-ish through the shop.
Wow. So,
doubling a bit.
Yeah, that is obviously catastrophic for you guys. I guess, like, how much time did you guys have to react to this? And further to that, was there anything from I guess, the authority saying that this will go way beyond what 2021 was. So
no one knew, man. No one knew it was going to be that big.
yeah,
You just can't put a number on it. Like, there's just no. It's such a big catchment.
Yeah.
So many rivers feed it. So many variables. Like, at one stage, we're like, oh, we might not get it because it stopped raining here in Taree. It was raining up the mountain.
Yeah.
And we're like, oh, we'll get a push. It'll come up, but it won't be as bad. And then it started raining here again and held up. And then it was just the fact that it rained from literally the Aussie Arc, where they breed the backup stocks of Tasmanian Devils up in Barrington Tops, is the top of our catchment.
Yep.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, that's like they got smashed.
Yeah, I saw them up the top up there, even catching all the animals and bringing them into
and you got to think that's the top of the mountain.
Yeah,
yeah, right. Yeah.
So it started from the top, which normally these systems run out of puff by the time they get there.
Yeah, that's right.
So we knew it was coming.
Yeah.
The bomb was probably a little bit lax on it, to be honest. And the forecast from Willie and things like that weren't showing it. But like these days, everyone's watching the weather channels on Facebook.
Yeah.
And you could see the system. The one thing that caught us a little bit maybe was the fact that the hunter got it to start with when we were meant to. So we actually missed a day of it.
So
we got really lucky,
and it sort of swung back into the mid north coast.
Right. So they got that 300 mils in a day there, and then it shifted north to us. So if we'd had that as well, we were cooked. Taree's gone. You'd wipe it off the map. Yeah.
So we
knew it was coming, but definitely not to this extent.
So does Taree, we live on the Clarence here, right? We've got levee banks, all that kind of jazz. We are very dependent, like you guys as well, but we obviously have a pretty wide, big river to deal with this, and we also have a lot of flatland or floodland or areas back out there. And for us personally, like the three rivers have got a combined. Technically at the same time, and because some are so much longer and the demographics or the geography of it is it's very rare to get the three rivers hit and come through at the same time. So obviously for this to happen, it must have been the perfect storm, so to speak.
Yeah, it was. It hit the whole lot at once, top to bottom. Like every square inch of that catchment got a lot. And to be honest, after watching the weather maps and the radars and everything, there's nothing saying the next one's not going to be bigger.
Yeah.
Because there were still breaks in it. We still had, there was a few times through the day while we were watching the water, I was going, it's eased off a bit. We might be right. But yeah, it's got a lot. The other thing we were hoping is by the time it got down here, it hit the flatlands and spread a bit.
Yes.
Just didn't. There's so much. It spread, but it just kept coming anyway.
Yeah. Look, one thing I was just wondering as well. Obviously, is there levee banks there? But and obviously around you guys and some of the areas. Obviously, you're not the only business affected there. There would have been hundreds of businesses affected. Not to mention, I guess, farmers.
Oh man, I reckon a quarter of Taree is affected by it. To be honest, we don't have levees. We generally don't need it as such because a lot of the town is built far enough. Like there's little bits it backs up into, but it doesn't happen that often. Like it takes a lot for it to get up down here. But so next door to us, we've got an office works building. It's when they built that, it's a bit of a pain to us because we get a lot of their runoff and it floods our shop a little bit as it is. But they built that above the 1 in 100 year by a fair bit. And they had maybe 300 mil through theirs. We've got a Sydney Tools just opened 2 doors down.
Yeah.
They went maybe 6 foot through theirs. And then we've got Wally Fay right next to us with the car detailing.
Yeah.
And so we put all his stuff in his tinting bays and his wash bays, which is up pretty high. And he had maybe 4 foot through there. No, sorry, 2 foot through there. So he parked his caravan in there that he's been staying in, went through that, lost 2 cars, went over the Phoenix. 2 car yard cars were in there. Like, there's a Honda shop across the road. They did the same as us. So knew after 21, we need to get this stuff up. Put everything to high corner in their block.
Yeah.
Took a lot of their stuff out and then lifted the rest up above the flood height. Wiped them out.
Yeah, yeah. And another report was too that a whole bridge washed away up further as well.
At Wingham.
Wingham.
Wingham,
Yeah.
Yep. So Wingham Bight Bridge, it's the half of it's left there, with no access to either side. And then Wingham Brush itself, which is like the rainforest where the bats and that are, where their ramp and that is.
Yeah.
It just you literally cannot fathom the dirt and that it's moved and the damage is done. So I like having as the conversations you have with everyone out the back having a beer and an arvo, watching the flood come up. I'm like, you wait until you see the rearranging this river's going to get with this flood because it's going to be a big one.
Yeah.
Just couldn't even in your wildest dreams imagine how much it's done.
Yeah.
Like we've all seen a flood if we bass fish and what it does and changes the river channels and shifts gravel bars and blah blah blah. This thing was like.
Yeah.
We went down the road from Mum and Dad's one of the days when we come to check work, where I grew up, and there's a little island there, heaps of she oaks and that on there, and you can sit there and watch the water go through, and we watched trees snap in half from the flood while we're sitting there.
Wow.
Yeah.
It just barreled them, yeah.
It'll be go find new snags. Snags that were there won't be there. It'll be
Oh, man. There's a little island just down from the Martin Bridge, the main bridge in town.
Yep.
It's nearly gone, flattened it, but it's also shifted probably 200 metres downriver.
Wow.
There's a new little gravel bar there.
Wow.
So literally everything's changed. The whole system, not even the same.
Look, I did catch a listen to ABT Live there the other night, and I think you mentioned to Steve that one way that you could possibly help, that you guys are sort of doing a bit of a sale thing. Can you tell us a little bit more about that? And to our listeners, how can they maybe support Manning River Marine through this process?
So at this stage, we're still in the cleanup process. We've got pretty much everything that was wet or dirty out of the shop, and I reckon in the next 2 days we'll have the floors and the shelves cleaned, front and back, and ready to start moving everything that we've cleaned in.
Yeah.
But as anyone would know, like I was standing there for the last 3 hours unboxing packs of hooks to put them into tackle boxes and try and save what we can of them.
Yeah.
Like they're all fine, they're still wet, they don't rust.
Yeah.
We've got stuff to stop it rusting anyway later. But it takes so long. So it's going to be probably another week until we're ready to do anything.
Yep.
But from then on, we'll be having a sale of the bigger, bulkier stuff at the front of the store.
Yep.
That'll be ongoing because I'm not setting the shop up as it was. I don't even know if I will here. We're looking at moving the shop.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I'm not playing this. Yeah, I'm not playing that game again. Like the shop's a shithole anyway. Drives me nuts. Need somewhere a bit bigger and a bit better. And I'm not doing this again. Like, it's twice in 4 years. And the way the weather is, it can happen any time. So I'm not doing it. So we'll sell a lot out the front. We've got the website Boating and Fishing Online going now. I've just put a block on it so I don't get any online orders while we're doing this.
Yeah, sure.
But as soon as that's done,
okay,
I'll probably load a flood page.
Yep.
And I'll get James to sit on the computer and we'll just keep hammering stuff onto there. So that'll be a good avenue for people out of town to get some good bargains on that as well.
Yep.
And then when the comp's at Forster on the weekend, I'll probably take a stack of stuff out there. But it's just going to take us a good week or two to compile everything and figure out where we put it all.
That's all
right. It'll happen in a hurry.
Yeah. All right. So, anyone going down to the ABT down in Forster, which is good because that's going to be my next question in a second. But I do have one question for you. How long has Manning River Marine been in the family name for?
I think it's just over 40 years now.
Wow.
Yeah, the old man's had it.
Yep.
In this spot. And I reckon this one's going to be the one to knock it on the head.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So this is, so we're going to get a new state-of-the-art facility by the sounds of it.
Hopefully. Well, you go, like, to put it in perspective, it's been here, I can't remember when, so 78, they were here for the flood.
Yep.
And it went through sort of, 700-odd mil. There was one in the 90s, didn't quite make it in the shop. There was another one in the 80s that did, but only like ankle deep. Couple of other pretty big ones we've seen come up and down out the front. So that's in, say, 30-odd years. Mm-hmm. And then in the last 4, we've had 2 that have literally obliterated all that.
Yeah, okay, righto.
So it's not getting better.
Yeah. Hey, look, we might just change the tone there a little bit, and I think when we spoke there last night, so you got some tradies turning up really soon. Forster, obviously Manning River round has been moved to there.
Yep.
What are your thoughts? 6 days fishing there. What's Forster look like? Is it going to clean up? Is it looking like this? Did they have water through the place? Tell us a little bit about that.
Yep, Forster flooded pretty hard. It doesn't have anywhere near the catchment we do, and the catchment there's predominantly coastal.
Yep.
Forster turns over the whole system of the lake. I think it's supposed to be every 30 days. So it does clean quickly.
Yep.
Those fish that are at sea and have been pushed out are going to be looking for the best water they can pretty quick.
Yeah.
So the good chance they will push into Forster.
Mm-hmm.
In saying that, it's still filthy. There's still runoff. It'll be hard. 6 days fishing on there, it's going to be really, really tough.
Yeah.
Hopefully, like quite often in a flood, the fish from there will push out into the lake.
Yes. Yep.
So they chuck a right-hand turn. They know the lake's all good.
Mm.
They'll ride it out there, and then come back out into the main river. It's a spawning time of year, so they're already going to be wanting to be down the front.
Yeah, they're going to be confused.
And it's going to be super condensed. But the good thing is we've got fairly solid tides, a lot of different water moving around, and those fish I don't think will set up hard on anything. I think they'll be moving around a lot trying to reset.
Yeah.
So if any time you're going to have 6 days straight, this is probably the time to do it.
Yeah.
Because they will be shifting.
Yeah, no, fair enough.
And there's good water coming in. Like I had a look at the bar cam yesterday, top of the tide. It's not clean, but it's not pure mud.
Yeah.
Like the Manning at the moment, it's soup still. Like it is absolute soup.
Yeah. Look, we just thought, obviously, we have had nowhere near the amount of water, but back up here in the Clarence, we did a comp there the other week. And
no different to what ABT was.
Yeah, like it was just you went all right in that, but yeah, it was still that same murky, not much water coming in. Steve sort of found some right down the front on the front reef there, and they were probably sitting in that water, but they were looking to spawn. They had a few milking up around Palmer's there, so anyhow, we'll have to see how that plays out. Look. Just to let everyone know, you are the Bass captain for the Bass Worlds at the end of August, start of September. Looking forward to that.
Yeah, I can't wait. Stinging for it. We've this has put a little bit of a hold on organisation for a bit, unfortunately, but we've got I think we've got most of it sorted. We're still working on a similar raffle to what we did last year. Beating the drum for some prizes and that. A lot of people have asked how they can help us out, cash or donate, whatever. At this stage, prizes for the raffle is probably the easiest. And then if you want to spend some money with us, buy some raffle tickets once it's up. Save it for that. It's just the easiest way for us to manage the funds.
Yeah.
As we're not set up with a bank account and all that stuff at this stage, we're still working on that with the guys that run FIPSED's whole accreditation in Australia and in Victoria, so we have to do it in conjunction with them. I can do it, but it just gets a little bit messy financially. So the raffle's the easiest way. Essentially, it just goes into an account, sits there. We use that to pay for whatever we need to, like say entry for one, car hire, all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
And then whatever's left, we'll roll into the next year, and hopefully we can just build from there.
Yeah.
But yeah, so and we definitely need a little bit. We're trying to get Tommy Wood over from the States for this one as well. We want him back in the team again this year.
Yeah.
And he's spending pretty much every last cent he's got trying to circuit over in the States. So
I've just seen him doing some Garmin training there. He's just finished that up. But look, I was just going to say that, so our viewers, we probably expect this raffle probably around July, do you think? Or
I think so, yeah. We should be right by then. Yeah,
right.
hopefully, for sure.
Okay, great. And look, talking about Tommy, we did have Matty Langford on the other week. He did say that, I'm pretty sure he said the biggest pest was Tommy.
Yeah, we know that.
Who is the biggest pest on that team?
Oh, it depends on the day. Tommy is a fair pest.
I reckon Coney would pull up on a Wednesday. I reckon he'd take it on a Wednesday.
It just depends where you are and what you're doing. I think the biggest chance of getting locked up is Tommy for sure.
Yeah, well, we know that. We know that.
It was all fun and games in Italy, but I think South Africa, he might have to pull his head in a bit. They don't mess around over there. Yeah, they don't mess around, and they can actually understand what he's saying.
Yeah.
So.
As long as he doesn't get out on one of them safari tours, he's probably right.
Yeah, well, that's it.
Hey, Kris, look, we know that you're really, really busy, so we better get going. Look, to our listeners, if anyone, just remember, Kris has said it might be a week or so till Manning River Marine's back online. If you can help them guys out, do so. If you go on the ABT down at Forster, bring a couple of bucks with you. Support.
In feeds for $100, I think I heard he say.
Don't get me wrong. There's going to be some river deals where I want to clear some gear out. So
yeah. So
I just feel sorry for the service boys at Darwin, because tomorrow I've got about 80 reels that I've got to get boxed up and go down to the service.
Actually,
they went under and they've been cleaned and everything, but I just want to give them the once over before we sell them. So
yeah. Actually, that's one thing I wanted to ask you. A little shout out to you. Obviously, with everything happened down at Hawkesbury, you were one of the guys that were helping there. How'd they go with the guys' reels? Did they get that sorted for them in the end?
Yeah, mate. Yeah, I just paid for it through work, so I grabbed them all off, sent them down, they serviced them. I got them to send them directly back to the guys, and then just put the bill on our account, and we sorted that out. So,
mate, that's awesome.
Especially there's some pretty special reels there that needed to be done, so they're too good to lose.
Yeah, no, good. All right, thank you for your time, Kris. Listeners, you've been listening to Kris Hickson, and once again, if you can help him out, just wait for another week or so. Manning River Marine will be back online.
Cheers, boys.
All right, hooroo.
Thanks, man.
All right, mate. Catch ya.
Cheers, mate. All right, there we go. Kris Hickson, definitely one of the good dudes of the sport. Just
legend.
Paid for the reel service, and like I said, he was there. He was in the water. He was flipping boats. He was, he was at Hawkesbury there. So
he's tried to help me out with my shitty Optimax with ECUs and that. Like, the man bends over backwards to help anyone out. So in this time in need, guys, just remember he needs our help. So in a week or two's time, support the guys that support us. And look, these guys have been a big avid supporter of ABT, not only ABT but other fishing events.
Just fishing in general.
Just making fishing bloody great again.
That's it.
So these are the guys that help you, so it's our turn to get back and help them out and get them back on their feet. And shout out to a few of the boys. I'm not going to mention your name and embarrass you. You know who you are. That went down there last week. Might have been on the weekend. Yeah, it was on the weekend. And it was opening lures, cleaning lures and all that. You guys know who you are. Shout out to you. Well done.
Yeah. All right. Now we're going to have another shift and change in topic. I feel like we're just, having split personalities today. But right, this is your thing, and I'm going to let you run with this.
Which one are we going to? Are we going to this one, or are we going to this one?
Well, I think we'll leave that one. We'll leave that for the next episode because I think this will get us through to where we need to get to, because this is quite.
This is going to open a kettle of fish.
A kettle of fish.
And I don't mind opening it. So what we're going to talk about is, if anyone follows me on Facebook, I did a little post the other day, a little appreciation post of a company called Kyogle Lures. These guys do jig heads, they do stinger hooks, they do blades, they do cranks. They do quite a range of things that are similar to other companies on the market, but not exactly. And this is what I want to get into. Copying lures.
Yep.
It is a thing. It happens across the board. Yep. I'm not mentioning big brands, little brands, whatever. I'm just talking about...
We've seen it.
We've seen it happen at AFTA. We've seen the blow-ups and all that.
Yeah.
And from my understanding, and I'm just going to go to the big AFTA blow-up a couple of years ago. We all know which one I'm talking about, Little Prawn. Now, I was told that it only needs to be a 10% change. Last night, someone, thank you to whoever it was, can't remember your name, said it needs to be 15% now. Either way, 10, 15, it's a flea stick of a difference, really. Do you think that's enough?
I'm going to be quite honest here, and we hopefully this is a shout out to P2 because he skins the timber for a living and has seen all sorts of weird and wacky shit
and copped a lot of shit
and copped some shit too. But I personally, if I have to be honest with you, I don't really care anymore. Now everyone's going, oh, fucking, this is my life or whatever, or this is my business. Okay, yeah, yes, it is, and agree with that. But it's gotten to a point where you can only make so many prawn imitations.
A prawn is a prawn.
Yep. I think blades are another one, and I'm looking at some of these kegger lures just here at the moment, and I can already see some of the differences from
a ZX.
I can already see it without even sort of getting my eyes near it, right?
From a TT.
Now, the thing is, there'll be some. Oh, this is probably going to go down really bad with some lure makers, but I'm just going to fucking rip the band-aid off.
We love yous.
There's probably someone over in Little China or somewhere there that just makes these things, right? And people just stumble across them. Companies stumble across them. The bigger companies look at them and go, "Shit, that's working. We'll copy them." I don't care anymore.
No, neither.
You know what I mean? Like, I think someone's having a crack. That's great. Yes, I feel like the thing that happened a couple of years ago, when it's big companies, I sort of sit there and go, oh, like I do cringe.
Yeah,
I do cringe a bit.
So do I.
I sort of go, But then if you strip all the stories back and then figure out where that original one come from, it wasn't originally from that person.
No.
So
I'm waiting for.
Are we mud gudgeons? Are we mud gudgeons thinking that?
We could be, but I know there's going to be a fight coming up. Not so much a fight, but it's going to open Facebook up very shortly between three companies.
Yep.
I'm just going to say, Crank Crab, I love you, and you're probably going to have the right to have a fucking hissy fit at some people. But I know for a fact there's some things coming out that are very similar to the Crank Crab.
Yeah.
Crank Crab is an OG and can never be replicated to what the Crank Crab is.
And I'll put this into more context, right? I have used OSP bent minnows and I've tried other brands.
Yep.
And I just have to have the OG. I don't care. I'll just pay the $30 whatever that they are now. The other ones, yeah, they're all right. They do what they do, but them things are just killer.
I'm the same with a Mazzy Popper. It's got to be an actual Mazzy Popper. If it's not, it's fucking shit.
Yeah.
But I think with blade, a blade is a blade. There's not much of a difference.
Yep.
Like, weights and that, and the way that the weight sticks to the blade and that. But like, you look at the Daiwa, I love you as well. But I'm just going to use you. I'm just going to use you for example. I'm just being honest.
Honest.
The new in-feet blade from Daiwa.
Yep. Looks similar.
Looks like 10 other ones on the fucking market.
Yeah.
Color range is different. Yep. Beautiful. Love the color range. Looks great.
Yep.
Perfect. Hooks are different. Yep. All that.
Now does the 10 or 15% come in the color range? Is that?
That's my thing.
Yeah, right.
Is it?
We better get some lure expert on here and have a bit of yarn about it.
Or is it? I'm using BKKs to VMCs, or I'm using a
hook change. Yeah.
I'm using a size 2 hook to a size 1 hook. I'm using O-rings to.
Because the one thing I do notice over there, like just from here, my difference or my first thoughts is obviously very different colours.
Yep.
But the hooks are a lot more beefier and bigger than what you normally get.
Yes, and that's probably one. And that's probably one of the, I'm going to show you guys these lures in a second, so don't worry.
Yep.
And that's probably one of the reasons I do like these kegger lures is when we are fishing in Grafton.
Yep.
And obviously I'm targeting bass, I'm blading bass and that. But there's 50 other species in this river that I'm going to catch on a blade. One could be a meter jewfish.
Mm-hmm.
And I love my pink ZX.
Yeah.
Jewfish meter long does a run. Those hooks aren't going to fucking stick.
No.
And shout out to the guys that catch meter cotto at Copeton. I've seen the pictures and that. Hats off. Great. Awesome.
It'd be one catch, throw it away sort of scenario just about with them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And there's nothing wrong with that, right? Like brimfish and all that, great. You know what I mean? But anyhow, it's not really the point. The point is that these things are always slightly different. They're always going to look similar. How many times can you copy a prawn, a bait fish, a plastic? Like I have to say, like, and give credit. And look, there's other people and other companies that do this too. But big shout out to Matt at Baramba, because he just comes up with just unique ideas, I think, and
his new lure intervention that he's brought out with his lures, is he's one side of the market.
They're just thinking outside the box.
Yeah, he's in a whole nother dimension at the moment.
And then like, I'm not taking anything away here, and I'll probably get a rap over the knuckles in saying this, is that there's people working for all these companies. Maybe they should take a leaf and be a bit more maybe creative like Matt. I don't know.
Yeah.
But it is hard to keep imitating like a soft plastic that looks like a prawn.
Our bait fish don't change. How bait fish has stayed the same in this river for 100 years.
So I think it's really hard, and I don't know. I'm really, like I said, I'm overhearing about this conversation. I'm over. This always happens. Yeah. Always happens. And I don't know whether it's just a bit of a social media blow up or.
But I also think as well, it sort of keeps the bigger guys, the bigger companies on their toes as well.
Yeah. So what about? Okay, let's just pull. I'm just full devil's advocate, right? Full devil's advocate. And I've been looked after Garmin stuff. Garmin's come out with some pretty good technology. I think the other guys are trying to catch it now. Yep. But in saying that, let's look at Minn Kota. They've had a pretty good electric motor over the last probably 20 odd years.
Well, they've been the top leader of it.
Yep.
Now, Lowrance and Garmin have come in the picture.
Yeah. And let's face it, they're similar. They do the same thing. But you never hear anyone whinging about that, do you? No. So yeah, I do find it quite interesting.
Well, we could go into bloody fishing line.
Why doesn't anyone whinge about fishing line?
Yeah. Oh, PE1. Well, I did PE1 first. And that, I don't know. It's a big kettle of fish.
Sounds like a fucking subject at school.
And look, another reason I don't mind. So I'm sorry, Kega. I'm going to call it an off-brand from the generic OG brand.
Yep.
Is like, all right, I've got no affiliation with Eco Gear JML. Yep. I'm like probably 90% of the rest of Australia. Mm-hmm. We're going to pay full price, which I'm happy for. Yep. And a ZX is ZX between $20 and $25, depending where you're buying them from and how well you know your local tackle shop and that, which is great. And I'll tell you what, 9 times out of 10, I'm always going to throw my pink ZX. I love my pink ZX. It's a confident lure. I know what it's doing just by the feel and everything. But am I going to give my wife and kid a $25 lure to throw into the snags or the sticks where I'm getting fish compared to an $8 lure? They're getting an $8 lure that works just the bloody same. So the guys that were calling me out last night, they're going, fucking, you wouldn't see me dead using that. Congratulations in life that you're well off enough to afford 525 lures to set you up for the year, because that's probably how many blades I go through a year, not exaggerating. I can lose 30 blades in a day and not give two hanky-panks about.
And even, like, I think even a couple of interviews ago when I think Pete won the Hawkesbury, I think he said some number like 30 cranker crabs or whatever. Now, as you said, when these other ones sort of roll through, they're going to be at a cheaper price point. People are probably going to look at them.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're, I don't, once again, I sort of, blades are one thing. I'll put my hand up there now. I think ages ago, one of the lads here, I won't say who, out of the Sports Fishing Club, just gave me a whole heap of imported ones.
Yep.
Right? And they look like VXs, work like VXs, and caught fish like VXs. Just to say, this is $6.
Yeah.
Like, So you think about, we'll go over to America, and we think about everyone making up all their rigs there. And once again, you don't hear too many people whinging about spinnerbaits there. No, okay, it's because it's just a natural path that people just make their own spinnerbaits up and that over the States. Like they sit there and just go do, bang, done.
Well, like I've done a little bit of pre-fishing with Coney and that, and Coney will just make a fucking spinner if he wants a spinnerbait or a beetle spin. He's got these things that he just makes them up on the fucking spot.
Yep.
Like literally, he's got wire and blades, and then 15 seconds later, he's casting a bloody spinnerbait. He's a whiz there on that. But yeah, like I don't know, much of a muchness. Like,
it is what it is, and like I don't know. Yeah, I think in this example, obviously the shape design, there's not many people that do that. But if you look at the VX,
actually, this is what I'm going to do.
Everyone's got that shape, really.
This is what I'm going to do on the weekend. On the weekend, I'm going to pull out. I probably got a dozen different blades that I use.
Yep.
Different brands and that. Mm-hmm. I'm going to take the hooks, and the O-rings, and all that off them. I'm going to trace them down on a piece of paper.
Yep.
I'm going to take a photo of it. I'm going to put it up onto our socials, and I want you to tell me
which was what
brand,
mm-hmm.
and what blade that is.
Oh, that's a good idea.
And let's see some of the keyword board warriors that follow Bo. Jump over to Two Pelicans page over the weekend. Let's see how good you are. Let's see if you can. And look, I'm gonna do something. If someone can pick all of them and get them right, the first person that picks it, I'll go to Motackle, buy a $50 voucher, and I'll send it to you.
There you go.
Done.
You heard it first here on the Two Pelicans.
Done.
Bo's put a challenge out.
Just write that down.
Write that down. That's all right. The 700 plus followers on Facebook will remember that.
$50. Nige or Cam.
Yep. There you go.
Staff discount to make it 35. I'll appreciate that.
Start writing it up, boys. But yeah, there you go.
I'll even do one better. You tell me the first person that gets it right. You tell me what you target. And I'll go buy $50 of what I personally would use to target those fish for you. There you go.
There you go. So hang on, let's just get this right first. What are you going to do?
I'm going to do a page. I'm going to draw. I'm going to trace the lure.
Yep.
So it's exactly that lure.
Yep.
You're going to have to name the company's brand that lure comes from. So if it's I'll say ZX, you got to tell me that's EcoGear ZX. Obviously, I'm not going to be a smartass and go tell me the color when it's in black and white.
Make it interesting.
But if you can, the first person that goes through and tells me, I'll do six blades, and tells me the brand of blade that they are just by looking at the trace. And the first person that gets that right, I'll do a $50 Motackle voucher at. Yeah, I'll just do a $50 Motackle.
Just do a $50 Motackle
and then you can
voucher.
Spend it on whatever you
like.
Spend
it on
blades.
Spend it on keggers.
All right, I'll get one. I'll open one of these up.
Let's just have a look because we do like to have a look at lures.
And that. So these are the Kegger prawn blade from Kegger Lures. These are his new one out. They're 10.8 grams, so they're a little bit heavier than his normal.
Yep.
Than his normal ones. His little ones that he does is the smallest version he does is I think 5.8 grams.
Yep.
So these is a slightly larger. Just try and get it in there.
Got it there?
Got it there.
Yeah, so them hooks actually look like beefy as, don't they? Like they're quite a beefed up hook. It'd be interesting to sort of.
That's the stinger hook there that he does. Now these are all available over on eBay, keggerlures.com, but also they are in tackle shops as well. And Motackle do stock these.
There you go.
They usually range between $8 and $12, so pretty much roughly half price from, I'll use the EcoGear ZXs. And look, guys, I've caught pretty much everything in the estuary on these. I haven't landed a jack. I did lose a jack on one.
Yep.
The smaller versions, but they do come in some pretty cool colours. And that a couple of
quite different colours there. I was just sort of
and look, I'm not saying that this would probably cop some shit over this, but a couple of their colours that they have had released for over a year now.
Yep.
Are some of the new colours that EcoGear have just released.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ooh.
But look, that's a whole nother that's a whole nother thing.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
colours
yeah,
and lures
yeah.
and all that. Everyone does that. But yeah, go check out Kegger prawn blades. As I said, they do stinger hooks, they do jig heads and all that. And I actually do think, I'm pretty sure, 100% confident in saying this, I do think Joey does use their stinger hooks on some of the lures that he hand makes as well. So,
there you go. Well, we're going to have to follow up with P2.
Yeah,
but,
I'm pretty sure he does. I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
Especially on the those squid ones.
The squidlies? Yep.
Yeah, the
yep.
squidlies
Okay.
and that.
Cool.
So yeah, go check out Kegger Lures. Have a look at Mo Tackle.
Go for it.
And that. But yeah, that's my
Yeah.
lure of the week.
Lure of the week. There we go. So we covered off lure of the week, topic of the week, maybe a mud gudgeon.
Maybe a mud gudgeon, yeah.
Maybe we're the mud gudgeons.
Maybe
I
I'm
don't
the
know.
mud gudgeon.
Yeah, who knows? Who knows? But anyhow, look, guys, you've been listening to the Two Pelicans podcast. I'm Mick.
I'm Bo.
We are the Two Pelicans, and we will see you next time. Bye.